Was there times when you feared for your safety, for your family's safety?
Igen, nagyon sokszor.
He said yes a lot of times.
Seeking asylum and safety from a country many say is filled with segregation and persecution. I'm Adrian Ghobrial. This week on City News, we've been looking into a trend on the streets in Toronto. Many women, all claiming to be from several Eastern European countries, panhandling. In pursuit of answers and understanding, we spoke with many of them who tell us they are Roma. We've also spoken with their settlement workers trying to assist them. Tonight, we sit down with a Roma family who has not had to panhandle, but share a similar tale of torment from their home countries.
When he was 3 or 5 years old, they had received a call that racist people were going to come where all of the Roma families were living.
You're concerned if you are sent back home that you could face punishment for speaking to us today.
They don't tolerate this type of thing, and that I would seem that I'm hurting or disrespecting them if I tell the truth about what happened to us.
Over 2 separate days, we spoke with Joseph and his 15-year-old son, Joseph Jr. The family of 6 identify as being Roma from Hungary. We're withholding their last name and identity because they fear they could face punishment by Hungarian officials if they are deported back to their Eastern European country. The family landed here in Toronto on May 18, 2016. For nearly 2 years, they've been waiting for their refugee claim to be heard by the Immigration and Refugee Board. These photos and their story are part of their case.
A month before you moved here, you went out to get some pizza with your wife and your son, Joseph, when you guys say you were attacked. What happened that night?
There were 3 of them. We were walking on the street. They were coming towards us. They saw that we were Romas. They started hackling us, saying, "What are you doing here? Why are you in Hungary?" They kicked me so hard with boots that my leg shattered in pieces. I had to go to the hospital. My wife was punched in the face and got a black eye. And my son was hit so hard, his forehead was injured.
Is that the moment you knew you needed to move to Canada?
This was the tip of the iceberg. It went so far that we did not feel safe.
Joseph, someone in Canada hears segregated schools, and it might be shocking for them to even hear that there are, in the year 2018, there are people in the Western world, in Europe, going to segregated schools.
It's a school that just teaches the basics, so nothing else.
2 évig jártam egy szegregált
When he went to a segregated school for 2 years, they didn't teach a lot of the curriculum that other Hungarian schools had, so they didn't teach gym and health as well as like foreign languages.
Since 2011, it has been illegal in Hungary to be homeless. Joseph, his wife, and 4 children say they lived in a government-issued 1-room apartment with no running water inside. But according to many Roma, as well as lawyers working with them here, that same government is closing housing filled with Roma, forcing them onto the streets, where they're being targeted by white supremacists and or arrested by police. If you can't prove that you have housing, then you can lose your children.
For both his father and his mother and himself, they all have a psychological and emotional trauma, and that he sees a doctor, and that he may one day need to take medication for his depression.
How many show up in your office battling with mental trauma, mental illness from what they say that they have had to face back home?
Every one of them has some mental trauma.
Jeffrey Goldman is the immigration lawyer for the family we've spoken to. He believes the length of time many have to wait to have their claims finally heard furthers the mental toll.
We go to church every week and pray. The only thing I ask God is that my family can stay in Canada and we get to become citizens and residents, and that I can provide safety for my family.
The Immigration and Refugee Board declined to comment on the family's hearing status. Joseph tells me they hope to have some good news by the end of the year. Currently, the family's living in a 2-bedroom midtown house. As for Joseph Jr., he's currently attending a Toronto high school, where next month he'll be sharing his story of being a Roma in Hungary with his classmates.